Don't want to watch the game on TV at home? Bring the TV to the game. I know, it's not a TV. I'm just making fun of the situation. Wheatland at number 2, Rawlins, first quarter. Wheatland wearing the black, down 2-0. That is until Tyler Pollock decides to step right up and knock one down for 3. And that will put the Bulldogs up by a score of 3-2. Rollins did more of their scoring up close. Kendall Wall takes the assist and gets a well-placed pick to set up his hook shot as the Outlaws would go back up 4-3 in the early going. The visitors have always been known to be a long-range threat, and opponents might not want to leave Pollock alone for that long because he'll make you pay 3 times over. The boys in black are off to a good start, leading 6-4. The home team was hanging around and found ways to get the job done. Here's Jalen Krenning. He'll stop, pop, and hit from about 12 feet out. That was the start of a 14-point game for him, and this game is dead even at 8 points apiece. Rollins had something to play for in this game as they were trying to clinch the number 1 seed for the East Regional Tournament. Alex Collier is going to finish the fast break to add to the cause to return the advantage to his squad, leading 10-8. The Bulldogs were getting a little impatient with sitting around and wanted to play ball. Dusty Nipper gets the swipe and takes off. He'll lay it in on the left side, and now the visitors are winning 11-10. The Outlaws were finding ways of their own to score, and sometimes they had to do it the hard way. Krenning squeezes between 2 defenders, gets the whistle, the bounce, and the bucket. The pendulum swings the other way. Home team leads 13-11 after the first 8 minutes. Second quarter, Rawlins was staging a break-in with their trips into the lane. You might actually need a Wall to stop Wall because he's finding ways to score, and one. The 3-point play would push the score up to 16-11. As for Wheatland, they have not scored a field goal in 4 minutes plus, and just wait until later. Jed Hadley scores quickly off of the inbounds to take care of the problem, and his team trails 18-13. The Bulldogs were starting to come out of the doghouse. Leading the initial charge is Nipper, putting food in the dog dish. He had 10, and the boys in black are down 20-15. Now here's a good trick, worthy of a treat. Critter Ruert had it, lost it, recovered, sent one defender flying, and then gave the ball to Hadley, who will get the hoop and the harm. That's good effort. The visitors are getting closer, down 20-17. They had nothing to lose in this game, and that can usually make any team dangerous. Jordan Castellanos will announce his presence and bury a 3-ball in the yard, and both teams would have 20-20 vision going into halftime. Third quarter, Wheatland at times would try to beat the opposition at their own game and try to score up close. Braden Douglas gets rejected, but he recovers quickly and gets the 2. He had 14, and now his team is back in the lead. It's 22-20. How about some defense? The Outlaws were in need of some. Collier's going to stuff Nipper. That got a few oohs and ahs, but he was not done. He'll get back and deliver another rejection, this time to Brickray Fisher. He knew what was going on and put a stop to the visitors' plans. Consider the lesson learned. So the boys in black went back to what was working, threes, particularly those from the corner. Douglas poured in 13 of his own. That was part of a 16-2 run as the Bulldogs would eventually go up 29-22. The home team had a serious problem. No field goals in 9.5 minutes. This putback by Collier was the only one they had for the entire quarter. Thankfully for the Outlaws, they're only down 29-26. But the opposition was trying to keep Rawlins jailed, and it was working for a while. Douglas again from the corner, and he was heating up. Wheatland was in decent shape, leading 34-26 going into the final 8 minutes. Fourth quarter, they were trying to put this game away, and for a little while it looked like that might happen. Braxton Fagenbush, drive, hoop, and the foul. The 3-point play would put the visitors up by a score of 37-30. Rawlins needed an answer, and Krenning's going to give it to them. He was not going to be denied on this play, and the refs give him one more for his efforts. He took a spill, but he was all right. That cut the deficit to 4. It's 37-33. The Bulldogs were not about ready to let them get any closer, especially when Douglas has the ball behind the arc. He'll drain another 3 to push the advantage back up to 6. His team leads 40-34. Now this next highlight is important. I'll tell you why later. Nipper will pull up for an 8-foot jumper and can it for Wheatland, who now have a 42-34 advantage with a little more than 5 minutes to go. Remember that. Here's why. The Outlaws would respond and take over. Krenning gets a leaner to go in and help turn the tide, and the home team's only down 42-38. Later, the big man came through. I'm not sure how tall Collier is, but he had enough to get the ball to drop in for another 2. His team trails 42-40. Skipping ahead to the final seconds, it came down to which team wanted it more, and the home team got someone new in on the scoring. Lane Patras gets a kiss off the glass with 4 seconds to go for his only 2 points of the game, and they were the two that mattered the most. Rawlins would go on a 9-zip run over the course of the final 5 minutes, and they'll take the number 1 seed into the East Regional Tournament as they would pull it out in the end on this one, 43-42.